we'll be talking about the gravitation, that is the gravitational force. You already know about gravitational force or the force of gravitation, that is always attractive in nature. This type of force, that is the that is the example of non-contact forces. And apart from it, in the electrostatic force or in the magnetic force, you got to note that they can be attractive or they can also be repulsive in nature, but the gravitational force, it will always be attractive in nature. So gravitational force, it will always be attractive in nature, always. But what about the magnitude of it? You know that this kind of force, the gravitational force, it will be acting between any two bodies in the universe, such as this marker and the board. Both the bodies, they exert gravitational force of attraction on each other. So these two bodies or any two bodies in the universe, they will attract each other. They will exert the gravitational force of gravitation on each other. But what is the magnitude of the gravitational force? So for that, we need to know about the universal law of gravitation, or we can also say that the Newton's law of gravitation. So firstly, we'll get to know about universal law of gravitation. What is it? Some part of it is already known to you. I told you that what is the relation between the force and the separation between the two bodies. Suppose we have one body here and the other body is here. Suppose that the mass of this body is m1 and mass of this body is m2. So firstly, we are talking about the relation of force and the masses. So the gravitational force, let us denote the gravitational force with the capital F. So the gravitational force, it is directly proportional to the product of masses of the two bodies. The two bodies about which we are talking. So these two bodies, the mass of one is m1 and the mass of other is m2. So the force is directly proportional to the product of masses of the two bodies. It is the first part of the universal law of gravitation. And the second part, in the second part, we'll talk about the separation between them. The separation between them. In fact, the separation between the center. Suppose that the center of this body, the center of this body and this body. So we are talking about the, you will get to know about it in the higher classes. Now you just have to know that the separation between the bodies, it is denoted by small r or small d. So the separation between the two bodies, let us denote the separation with the symbol small r. So the force, it is inversely proportional to the square of separation between both the bodies. So if we merge both the conditions of the universal law of gravitation, what do we get? We get that F is proportional to m1 m2 by r square. Now as you know, if we want to remove this sign of proportionality and get an expression for force, then what do? We need a constant over here, and the constant here is capital G, and this capital G, it is known as the universal constant, universal gravitational constant. So I'll write it over here. What is G? Where G is universal constant, universal gravitational constant, and it would be the same for any two bodies in the universe. So this capital G, it is the gravitational constant, and it would be the same for any two bodies. Suppose we are talking about this marker and this board. For these two bodies also, the value of G is, I'll tell you about the value of G. The value of G is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, and the unit for it is Newton meter square for kg square. So the value of G, it would be constant for each pair of bodies, any two bodies in the universe. If we are talking about the earth and moon, or we are talking about the earth and me as a human. So the value of G, it would be same for any pair of bodies. Now, this is the expression for getting the value of gravitational force that is acting between any two bodies in the universe. Now we have a special condition for this gravitational force. Suppose that we take any two bodies randomly, the marker, the board, or me and the board, or me and the marker, any two bodies. Then we call this force, this attractional force, to be the gravitational force. But there is a special condition. If one of the two bodies, suppose that we specify that one of the two bodies is Earth. Suppose that, I'll draw it over here. One of the two bodies is Earth, and the other body, it might be anything. This body is Earth, and the other body, suppose here we have some body, any body. Here we have a body. It might be a ball, it might be a person that is jumping from the roof, or it might be any body. So this Earth, if one of the bodies, it is specified that it is Earth, then the other body, it might be anything. Then this force of attraction between these two bodies, the force with which the Earth attracts the body, it is known as force due to gravity. I'll tell you what is force due to gravity. What is the difference between gravitational force and force due to gravity? This is gravitational force and this is force due to gravity or force of gravity. So what is the difference between these two forces? The force due to gravity, it is the special case of gravitational force. In fact, the gravitational force, this term can be used for the force of attraction between any two bodies in the universe. If we do not know that one of the bodies is Earth, then for any two bodies in the universe, the force of attraction, the force of gravitation, it will be only called the force of gravitation or the gravitational force. But if we are specified that no, one of the bodies is Earth and the other body, it might be anything, then this gravitational force is only specified as the force due to gravity. This is the simple difference between these two. Gravitational force, it is between any two bodies in the universe, and force due to gravity, it is the force exerted by Earth on anybody. So you might think that, sir, gravitational force of attraction, it is acting between this marker and this board too, and the force due to gravity, that is the special case, that is the example of gravitational force. Now let me tell you, the gravitational force, the force due to gravity, it is a gravitational force, but all the gravitational forces, they are not the force due to gravity. So if you are thinking about this condition that, sir, the Earth, it is able to attract any body towards its surface. As you know, when we jump from a roof, or when we leave any ball to fall freely. So in this condition, the body, it comes towards the surface of Earth. So the Earth is able to attract any body towards its surface. But why is the board not able to attract this marker toward it? Why so? It's very simple. It is due to the value of G. The value of G, as you can see here, it is -11. The scale of the magnitude here is of which scale? Of the scale 10 to the power -11. So it's very small value. The G is very small. So if you have to find the force of gravitation on any body that is exerted by Earth, that is the force due to gravity. This force due to gravity, this force that is exerted by Earth on any body, it is enough to attract anybody towards its surface. Suppose, I'll give you a simple example for it. Gravity, force due to gravity, I'll write it over here. Force of gravity. Suppose that we are talking about a very small body that has negligible mass. Suppose we are talking about an ant. Suppose that the mass of the ant is 1 gram, very smaller. So the force of gravity, we are calculating the force of gravity on an ant of mass 1 gram. What will be it? The force due to gravity on any ant, what will be it? F is equals to capital G, that is 6.67 into 10 to the power -11. We will just have the idea of the magnitude of this force that is acting on the aunt. Capital G, M1. Suppose that one of the bodies, obviously, for force due to gravity, as I told you, one of the bodies, it is specified that it is Earth. So the mass of Earth is around 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg. And what about the other body? The other body, it is the aunt, that is of mass 1 gram. So we may write it as 10 to the power minus 3 kg by the separation between them. So in general, we neglect the distance between the surface of Earth and the position of the body. So this height, the height of the body above the surface of Earth, it is negligible as compared to the radius of Earth, because the radius of Earth, it is 6400 kilometer, and that is why we neglect this height above the surface of Earth. So we assume that the separation between the two bodies is equals to the radius of Earth, that is 6400 kilometer. Now as you can see here, minus 11, minus 3, that is of the order 10 to the power minus 14, and here we have 10 to the power 24. So the resultant value of force, it will have a scale of about 10 to the power minus 14, 10 to the power 24, that is 10 to the power 10, that is positive. So in this case, that much force is enough to attract the aunt towards the surface of Earth. But if we are talking about these two bodies, suppose that the mass of this body is 1 kg, we maximize it, it is 1 kg and it is 1000 kg. Then in this condition, if we are talking about now this is not about force of gravity. Force of gravity was the condition only if one of the bodies was Earth. Now we are talking about gravitational force and not force due to gravity, because as I told you, this board and this marker, from the two bodies, none of the bodies is Earth, so it won't be stated as the force due to gravity. It is gravitational force. We can find it of our own. Capital G, it has the value 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. What about the masses of the two bodies? Suppose it is 1 kg, it is 1000 kg. Then 1 kg, 1000 kg, but the radius, the separation between them, suppose that the separation between both of them is of 1 meter. It is 1 meter. What do we get? The magnitude of the resultant force. What will be the scale of the magnitude? The scale of the magnitude of force, 10 to the power minus 11, 10 to the power 3. What will be the scale? 10 to the power minus 8. And obviously 10 to the power minus 8, it is a the scale, it is very small. 10 to the power minus 8. As the power is negative, so the magnitude of force, it is much smaller. And that much force that is acting between these two bodies is not enough to displace them. So the gravitational force of attraction is acting between the two bodies, but neither the board is coming towards this marker or this marker is moving towards the board. So this was the comparison between both of the forces. Now, as you know about force of gravitation, that is gravitational force of attraction, and you also know about the force due to gravity. What is the force due to gravity? It is the force with which Earth attracts a body. Suppose that we have, I'll rub this part over here. Now we are comparing. I gave you a homework, a simple homework to get the value of G. You know about G, that is the acceleration due to gravity. I gave you the homework that you have to find the value of G, that is 9.8 meter per second square. In this class, I let you know that how do we find the value of G, that is 9.8 meter per second square. So as you know about force due to gravity, what is it? Force due to gravity, what is it? It is force with which Earth attracts a body. Earth attracts the body towards its center. Obviously, any body, if I leave this pen, then in which direction does the pen move? In this direction, in vertically downward direction, that is towards the center of earth. So earth attracts any body towards its center. That is the force due to gravity. In fact, the weight of the body, suppose that the mass of this marker is small m, mass is small m, then what will be the weight of it? As you know, what is weight of the body? The weight of the body, it is the same part. That is the force with which earth attracts a body. Suppose that the mass of this body is small m, then the weight of this body, what will be the weight of this body? Weight is also a force. What force? Which force? Force with which earth attracts any body. So the weight, it is similar to, here I give the equals to sign so that it would be clear to you. What is the weight? Weight is nothing but it is the force only. The force with which earth attracts any body towards its center. And the magnitude of this weight, as you know about force, what is force? It is m into a. You know about force? That is mass multiplied by acceleration. Now if the mass of this body is m and it is falling in downward direction, moving in downward direction. Now as I told you about the acceleration due to gravity, it is the acceleration produced in the body when it falls in downward direction, when the force of gravity is acting on the body. Then we'll replace this a with g. It's very simple. If the body is moving in horizontal direction, then the acceleration is a, denoted by a. If the body is performing motion in vertical direction, either in upward or in downward direction, then the a over here, it will be replaced by g. That is the acceleration due to gravity. So we get the value of weight, that is m multiplied by g. That is the force with which earth attracts a body. So this part, it comes directly from the definition of force, that is force with which earth attracts any body. Now we will find the, suppose this is earth, we know the mass of earth. Here we have any body, suppose here we have any body of mass small m. Now we already got the value of force. The force with which earth attracts this body of mass small m, it is the force due to gravity, or it is the weight of this body. What is the weight of this body? What is the weight of this body? It is equals to the force with which earth attracts any body towards its center. So you got the value of weight from there, that is m into g. Now we will get the value of the same force with the help of universal law of gravitation. What do we do? Suppose the mass of earth is capital M. So from the universal law of gravitation, the force that is acting on this body, it will be found by this expression, that is capital G, mass of one body, that is of earth, capital M, mass of the other body, that is. And as I told you, the separation between these two bodies, between earth and this body, it is assumed to be equals to the radius of earth, that is 6400 kilometer. And the radius of earth, we denote here it by capital R. So it is the radius of earth. This part, it is the radius of earth. So the same expression, the same value of force, it comes from the last gravitation, universal law of gravitation. So these two forces are same. The force with which earth attracts a body towards its center, that is weight of the body, m into g. And again, the force with which earth attracts this body towards its center, it will be found by the universal law of gravitation, capital G, capital M, small m, by separation between the two bodies. Now if you compare the two expressions, both the F1, suppose this equation is 1 and this is 2. Comparing 1 and 2, what do we get? mg, that is this force. Both the forces are acting on the same body. The force mg, that is weight of the body, on the same body. The force is acting on the same body. And this force that we found from the universal law of gravitation, this force, it is also acting on the same body. That is exerted by earth. Now if we compare both of them, m multiplied by g, it will be equals to this, capital G, capital M, small m by r square. Small m cancel. what do we get? Small g is equals to capital G capital M by R square. This is the whole part here. This part, capital G capital M by R square. This whole part, it is what? It is the acceleration due to gravity. And from here, you can easily get the value of G, that is 9.8 meter per second square. You know the value of G. You know the value of M, that is 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg, mass of Earth. And you know about R, that is the radius of Earth. So put these three values in this expression and you'll get the value of small g, that is 9.8 meter per second square. I think it must be very clear to you, students. And now we will be talking about the mass and the weight. We will compare it, as you already know about weight. What is weight? Weight is a force. Which force? Force with which Earth attracts any body towards its center. And what is mass? Mass is simply, it is the quantity of matter contained in a body. Suppose that I say that the mass of this body is 1 kg. Then this 1 kg, what does it tell us? It tells us that the amount, the quantity of matter contained in this body is 1 kg. So this is the basic difference between mass and weight. Mass, obviously, it is a scalar quantity. It has no direction. But weight, it is a force. And force is a vector quantity. You know about it. So weight is a vector quantity and mass is a scalar quantity. Now, as you know, all the parts of the force due to gravitation, that is the gravitational force, and you also know about the force due to gravity. Here we have a simple example that is related to the last part that we discussed about the universal law of gravitation. I'll read the question for you. What is it? Force of attraction between two bodies at a certain separation is 10 Newton. Suppose that we have two bodies, they are at a certain separation, anything, suppose it is R1. So in this case, the force between the two bodies, attractive force between the two bodies was of magnitude 10 Newton. Now, what will be the force of attraction between them if the separation is reduced to half? Suppose that the R1, the value of R1, that is in the first case, the separation between the two bodies was R. Now in the next case, we are being told that the separation between the two bodies, it is halved. It is half of the original initial value. So the new separation, suppose the new separation we denote it with R2. The new separation between the two bodies, it is reduced to half. It means that R by 2. It's very simple. What we have to find, in the earlier condition, the force was known to us, that was of 10 Newton. And the second condition, suppose it is F1, denoted by F1. We have to find the new force that is acting between the two bodies when the separation is reduced to half. We do not know about F2, but we have this relation between the gravitational force of attraction and the separation between the bodies, that is square of the separation between them. So in the first condition, the separation between them was R1 was R. We denote it by R1. So it is inversely proportional. So what we can do here, this relation, as it is very clear to you that it is inversely proportional to the square of separation. So can we write over here that F1 by F2, if we compare both the forces, F1 by F2, it is equals to reciprocal of their square, that is R2 square by R1 square. It's very simple. The force is inversely proportional to the separation. That is F1 will be inversely proportional to R1 square and F2 will be inversely proportional to R2 square. So we get the expression over here with the help of the relation between F and R. F1 is to F2 is equals to R2 square upon R1 square. What can we do over here? R2 by R1 whole square. Now as you know the value of F1, that is 10 Newton, and we have to find the value of F2. R2, it has the value R by 2. R by 2. What about R1? R1 has the value R. So it will be R2, it is R by 2 and R1 is R. The square of it, R and R, they got cancelled. 10 Newton by F2, it is square of 1 by 2, that is 1 by 4. Cross multiply it. What do we get? The new force F2 it will be 40 Newton. It's very simple. I think it's very much clear to you. Now we will have one more example that will relate both the topics. The equation of motion that we learned in the last chapter, in motion in one dimension, and the new concept that we developed in this chapter only, that is about the force due to gravity, that is about the gravitational force.